Today I'm going to show you ways to add colour and patterns into your space without making your space feel overwhelming or chaotic. My mom has perfected how to mix subtle tones with pops of colours and patterns together and to make the place still feel cohesive and nice. I'm going to show you some of her work as well as giving you some tips and advice to really perfect your own style. Just a disclaimer, I'm not a professional interior designer, nor am I looking to be one. I just wanted to pass on to you what I have learned. Okay, so you're here because you want to learn about colour and patterns for designing your own space. So first we're going to talk about colour and then we're going to jump into patterns a little later on, okay? Okay, so let's assume you've chosen a room to decorate and now we're going to add in some colour. Try visualising your space and tell me, does it feel moody or airy, or maybe it has some warm tones or some cool tones going on? You're not quite sure yet, are you? Okay, what you can do then is go into Pinterest, Google and Instagram. Start looking around at interior design styles and pick out the ones that you would like for this space. Next, save those images and we're going to use them as our inspiration for this space. Okay. Next. Okay, so now that we have an idea of what we want, we're going to start adding in the colour. You should at this point have picked out a colour that you want for the space, but we need to pair that with another colour or two because no room only has one colour going on, unless you're going for monochromatic, that is. Okay, so now you're not that sure what colours to put with that other colour that you just picked, yeah? A good tool to use for this is a colour generator. I like to use Canva's colour generator, so I'm going to link that for you below. I'll just show you here quickly how it works. Basically what you do is you tap onto the colour wheel here, tap onto the colour that you want to use, and it will automatically pair a complementary colour to it. You see it down below here. It also has this little pull down bar here, so you can change it for if you're looking for a monochromatic style or whatever kind of style you have here. It'll change it to 3 colours and 4 colours. You can just play around with this a little bit to get a feeling and a vibe for your space. You can also just take a look at a regular colour wheel here and pair each colour with the colour opposite of it. So for example, here we have orange and blue, or red and green, which we're familiar seeing around Christmas time, right? And then another option, which actually is kind of one of my favorite options, is to just look at those inspiration pictures that you picked out and you will start to see, well, they paired this color and this color together, which I quite like, so I can do the same as that too. Easy, simple, straightforward. You already know it looks good. Can't go wrong. Okay, are you still with me? I hope I haven't lost you just yet. What I want to explain to you now is you have all these colors that you like. How do we pair them into the room nicely? Have you heard of the 60-30-10 rule? Let me quickly break this down for you. Ultimately, the rule is that 60% of your design should be one colour. This is normally in bigger areas like a wall, let's say. Then we're going to take another colour, which will be 30%. 30% of your design should be an accent colour displayed on chairs, rugs and sofas. Then we will have another colour which is 10%. 10% is used sparsely around the space, so it's dotted around in the form of artwork, small touches and accessories. So to get you a little bit more familiar with that, we're going to play a little game. Are you ready? So I'm going to show you 4 different pictures. They will get a little bit harder as each picture goes on. And basically what I want you to do is first guess for yourself what is 60%, 30% and 10% in this room. And then I will show you what I think are those percentages. You've got this. Come on. Loser buys lunch. Okay. I'm the loser. Pause your video and give yourself a second to decide what you think would be 60%, 30% and 10%. So I would say 60% here, 30% here, and I'm going to say this is the 10% here. Alright, this is the second picture. This one I'm going to say white is the 60%, blue is the 30%, and then you have a choice here between the black being 10% or the gold being 10%. I personally think it's the gold. Okay, let's move on to the third picture. I find that this one's quite hard to tell. It's almost like 50-50 with just a tiny bit of the brown. Okay, and now this is the last picture. I would say this is the 60%. This as 30%, and I'm going to say that this is the 10%, but you could also say that the plants here are the 10%. Make sure to let me know what your guesses were. Were they the same as mine? This is just to help give you an idea of how to place colour into your space. Don't take it too seriously. You can have 3, 4, 5 colours in your space. It's okay. It's just to help give you an idea and a guidance so that the place can feel cohesive and there's a nice flow to the space. Here's a great example of what I was just talking about. In this picture we have the navy blue and the gold, which is the main colour here on the wall. These are complementary colours of each other, which you can actually see here in the Canva generator. See how they've tied it into the room here. You can see here that the gold has been taken into the coffee table and the lamp, and then the blue has been taken into the rug. And then you can see here they've even taken the off-white color that's in the accessories and dotted it around the room. So it's not just one piece, it flows throughout the space. It's just so well done. I love this space. Let's move on. Alright, so now we have managed to put colour into our space. But what if you want to add in some pattern and shapes to your space too, but you're not quite sure on how to do it? I'm gonna help you. Oh, loser. Okay. Let me help you to get started. Okay, so patterns can be beautifully subtle in a space. Or they can be incredibly bold in your space. It's mainly used in your floors, walls, and accessories, which you can see here. So what I want you to do is pick a pattern that you like. Again, go look for some inspiration if you're not quite sure. Okay, so now that you have a pattern picked out, we're going to place it in one area of the room. For example, the wall. Next, you're going to want to pair that pattern next to a solid colour, like this. Here's an example of how my mom perfected it in her home. You can see here she has the bold pattern on the wall, and then she has the white next to it, followed by another solid colour, but then these are her main three colours of the room. She doesn't go further than this. Also here she has this lovely bold wallpaper, and it's paired next to this more of a light pastel blue style. So it really helps the wall itself to pop, and this block of colour then gives a calmness to the rest of the room. Okay, in order to keep this whole thing cohesive, we're going to take some of that pattern and bring it into the rest of the room. We don't want to go too crazy with this now. We want to just make the room feel complete, the same way that we did with the colour, bringing it into the room. I'm going to take this picture again, for example, to show you how perfectly they did it here. Look how they've taken the pattern design that's on the wall, and then they've placed it into their coffee table here. You can also see it on the sofa here, and it's also in the plant. This is brilliant. This to me is so clever and strategic. Although they've taken that massive pattern off the wall and placed it into the room, it doesn't feel overwhelming, which is the kind of goal that you want to achieve at the end of the day. Here's a few other picture examples of how they've just taken the pattern and placed it into rugs, pictures, pillows. It doesn't seem overwhelming, it's not too much, but it's there to help complete the vibe of the room. Now, if you don't fancy using patterns in your space, but you still want to have a little something, opt for shapes. See how this room has used squares to become the main focus of the room, and then this room has used circles. The shapes from both rooms give each room a completely different vibe. Okay, so now I think we have a better idea how to use colour in the space. We seem to have a better idea on how to use pattern in the space. You've already picked out styles that you like, and so your room should be starting to come together about now. Don't forget how important accessories are to complete a space. There are many different styles out there to choose from. Play around with all of them until you start to really know what you want. I'm still trying to figure out what I like best for me, but you might start to notice you're more into moody styles or light and bright styles. Maybe you're more into boho or eclectic or contemporary. But whatever it is, play around, find what suits you, use some of this guidance that I've given you, and your space will definitely start to represent your personality and what you really want to achieve for that space. Thank you guys for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Why not check out another one while you're here, and I'll see you again. Bye!